the Great White Way is somewhere out there. And when it comes to theater, nobody knows Broadway shows better than our next guest. He's a host of the nationally syndicated series, The Broadway Show with Tamsin Fadal, and editor-in-chief of Broadway.com.
And he is here to tell us all about the Broadway shows we must get tickets to see this fall. So please welcome Paul Wontorek. Good morning, Paul. Great to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So good to see you. Now, you guys were just talking about The Wiz.
Yeah, I saw you at the audience of The Wiz, yeah.
Oh
it's gone.
But
there's a lot of new things.
There's a lot of new things. This is interesting. More than 12 million people went to see Broadway shows last year. Holy smokes. Broadway's back.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that dark, dark time.
I know.
When it wasn't.
Thankfully, it's over. Hopefully.
I know, exactly. Who are some big stars coming to the Great White Way?
Okay, well, let's start with, so first of all, I want to say this weekend, every weekend, we air the Broadway show, Tamsin Fadal, here on Pix 11, and we're doing our fall preview. So we're talking about all 15 new shows opening in the next few months. And I want to start with Robert Downey Jr. because I got the chance to sit and talk with him. He is now currently on Broadway already in McNeil, getting incredible buzz. It's a wild, very modern play about AI. It explores AI. And it's so interesting. A lot of theater writers are exploring AI. Really? There's also a show called Maybe Happy Ending, which is about robots falling in love, coming, a new musical. But Robert Downey Jr. his Broadway debut. He did some theater as a kid. He obviously just won an Oscar. And I loved pointing out to him that there's this new trend that actors, you know, doing Broadway show wasn't always the hottest thing you did at the peak of your career. And now Jessica Chastain did it a couple years ago, and now Robert Downey Jr. did it. But I told him, I said, you actually are getting here a little quicker, like by a couple weeks than she did even getting to Broadway. And he was very excited by that. So big, huge name. I mean, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, some big names, a lot of big names. What about Sunset Boulevard, starring Nicole Scherzinger?
I fell in love. I saw this production in London. And I'm such an Andrew Lloyd Webber kid. I grew up on Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals. I love Sunset Boulevard. This is a wild version of Sunset Boulevard. You know, it's about Norma Desmond, the classic, you know, silent film star. But in this production, Nicole Scherzinger obviously looks gorgeous, but you know, the character of Norma Desmond is supposed to be in her early 40s. And the whole point was that back in Hollywood at that time, that was sort of the end of the career. And it's really interesting to see an actress so vibrant. And it's about somebody struggling and being sort of discarded by Hollywood. And Nicole Scherzinger, man, I mean, this is her Broadway debut, but she is an instant Broadway superstar. I mean, wait till you see this performance.
And the voice of hers is like phenomenal.
It's insane,
Oh my gosh, next, Left on 10th with Juliana Margulies and Peter Gallagher.
Yeah, so we interviewed Delia Ephron on this show this weekend. Beth Stevens interviewed her. And this is based on her memoir. About sort of falling in love, left on 10th. She lived on 10th Street. So it's about sort of meeting her current husband. Obviously, you know, we know her from her work with her sister, Nora Ephron. And it's a really beautiful story. It started as a book, and she's now adapting it into a Broadway dramedy. You know, I'm curious to see what it's like. I think it's going to be very romantic and touching.
I love that there are 2 dogs that are on the playbill too. I think that's hilarious. Let's talk about Audra McDonald in Gypsy.
Have you guys ever seen Gypsy?
I have never.
Nor have I.
Okay. You have to go see Gypsy. It is usually regarded as one of the best written musicals ever. And there have been a lot of big ticket revivals of this over the years. Patti LuPone, Bernadette Peters. I saw Tyne Daly do it in the 80s. But Audra McDonald's the first black actress to take on this role. This is sort of the titan. This is one of the biggest roles ever. Mama Rose, she's a stage mother. She's bringing, it's based on a real woman whose daughters turned out to be Gypsy Rose Lee, the stripper, and June Havoc, the film actress. So it's really about them growing up and being in vaudeville and ending up in burlesque in the case of Gypsy Rose Lee. And Danny Burstein was just announced this morning as the co-star. He's playing Herbie, the love interest, and there's more casting to come. And George C. Wolfe, who is one of my favorite directors ever, is directing it. And it's reopening the Majestic Theater, which was the Phantom of the Opera Theater for all of those years. They just beautifully renovated it, and this is the first new show. So this is an event. Gypsy, you guys, I need to see both of you at Gypsy.
We need dates. We need dates to go. And then The Wonderful World with James Monroe Iglehart.
Yeah, so Tamsin sits down with James Monroe Iglehart. He is a Tony.
Oh, so sorry.
He's a Tony winner for playing the genie in Aladdin.
Never
Charming
forget that.
guy, really great guy. It's been really exciting watching him become a full-fledged Broadway star. He's playing Louis Armstrong, singing the song, doing that voice. You know, there's a really distinctive voice Louis Armstrong had. I think it's about, he had 4 wives. I think it's about a lot of the personal life of Louis Armstrong. I don't know much about. And he's also co-directing it.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
That
yeah.
guy.
So
What can't
it's
he
really
do?
interesting. It's a really interesting project for him.
And finally, the job.
Oh my God!
I heard so much about this.
I just saw the fantastic start. By the way, Peter Friedman, who you'll be sitting with, he one of his first big things with Audrey McDonald was Ragtime. He was in Ragtime with Audrey
He's
McDonald.
agreeing. We see him.
And,
He is agreeing.
that was sort of like one of her first big things. He already had been a very established actor at that point. He's done a lot. Job is like a thriller, and I was just telling them when I sat down, I knew nothing about it, and I recommend. I know you're going to talk to them and you're going to find out some stuff about it, but it's also just like sit down, watch these 2 brilliant actors, and it was a big hit over the summer, and that's sort of going through October, and then the new shows come in, and this is Broadway. Shows come and go, and there's always so many great things to see.
So many great things to see.
Buckle up.
We thank you, but sadly we have to go talk to the stars. If that's okay
please.
with you.
No, please do it.